What's up guys, my name's Dane and welcome to Foil School Japan the series. In today's episode we're going to talk about the breach and why it happens and things that you can do to avoid it. But before we jump on in, I would like to request, if you enjoy what we do, please hit the like and subscribe button. And remember, if you have any questions or you just want to ask me about some other things and topics, just drop those in the comments below and we'll try and answer those as quickly as we can. But let's just jump straight on into today. The breach. I've got two little clips to show you to begin with of the reason why the breach actually happens. Now, it's something that all foilers are going to have to deal with, whether you're a beginner to advanced in all the different types of foiling, whether it be tow foiling, kite foiling, wing foiling, surf foiling, SUP foiling. It's just, and what it basically means is it means when that foil which is on the board, if we look over here and we'll just skip forward for you guys to show you, when that just at that moment there, when the foil actually breaches and comes out of the water, what that means is you no longer have any contact with the surface of the water or under the water, which means there's only one way to go from there, and that is down, and down very, very quickly. So let's go through nice and slowly why it actually happens. Okay, so we're just going to play this at regular speed for you and then we'll slow it down. Here we go. So this is Ralph, he's 14, and you're going to see what happens. The trajectory of the board continuously starts to rise. Ralph has all his weight on his back foot. That foil breaches and he crashes straight into the drink. Oh no. One thing to notice, the board is going the opposite way to where he's crashing. So for those that you are new to the sport, don't worry about it. It happens to us all. But it's actually pretty safe when those things happen. So let's just rewind this for you. We're going to do the frame by frame slow-mo so I can explain. Okay, so Ralph's nicely up on foil. He's at a good height. But if he goes any higher than this, he's going to be in danger of breaching. That foil is probably about 20 centimeters under the water at the moment. Now what he's got, if you watch here, is he's pretty much got all his weight on his back leg. And he hasn't got much weight on his front leg. He thinks he's actually in control and everything, but he's going to soon lose control. You see the white coming out of the water. That means that there's that foil starting to breach. Now look, that back leg, how bent it is and how little pressure's on that front foot. And look at that, the trajectory of the board, that foil just breaches. He's now gone past the moment of no return. You can see him extend his hands trying to keep hold of it. But look at the nose dive in. So let's just rewind that quickly a little bit so you can actually see what's happening. Here we go. So he's gone from going along in a nice flat straight line to suddenly he's got too much weight on his back leg. And the trajectory of the board is going to just continuously rise and take off like an airplane. The foil breaches out of the water, loses traction with the water, and then suddenly takes a nosedive. He knows he's lost it, he's looking down, all the weight goes down, everything, and bang, crash into the water he goes. There we go. You'll see him flick through here. And he goes away from the board nice and safely. Alright, so we're getting to scene number 2 here now. Let's have a quick look at normal speed. You'll see here Ralphie's up. The board rising, weight comes off the front foot. There's the foil breach and the big crash. Alright, so let's just run this back nice and slow for you guys so you can see. We'll do it frame by frame. So you already see he's got a lot of weight on his back leg. He's going to try and compensate that a little bit with the front, but he doesn't compensate enough. So look at the trajectory of the board. Look how quickly the board's rising. There's that white line coming out of the water. And he's almost breached there already. He's going to come back a tiny bit, but look, he's just got way too much weight on the back leg. No weight on that front leg, no pushing down with that front leg, and look, the board just continuously rises, and watch the breach of the foil here. There's no weight shifting, point of no return coming out. There's the breach. He's lost some traction, and here comes the nosedive. Just that foil is just going to slam itself straight back down into the water. So that's another great example of why breaching happens on the foil. Okay, but again, in this one, you're going to see what will happen as he goes. His momentum takes him forward. The foil will be grabbing underneath the water, will stop the foil pretty much dead in its tracks, and actually tweak the foil back off at another angle. So again, you're in relative safety when that happens. Right, so this one here is actually what you need to do to avoid the breach. Let's have a look at it. Here we go. Normal pace. Nice height there. Again, weight on the back leg. He knows he's coming up too much, so watch. He does a little pump of this front foot and he gets control of the board. Look at these little push downs with the front foot, and he comes back down. Amazing. So for those who need to see it in slow motion, let's just get back to the beginning. And you're going to see that little telltale white line at the bottom of the foil come out the water again, and how he actually controls that. So here we go. All right, so he's going along. He's got the board at a nice angle. He's going through a turn here, so he's picking up speed. So look how he's starting to rise. He's got too much weight on the back leg. He knows that. It's about here. You'll watch, see the board really start to take off. Now watch the mast start to rise out of the water. You're going to see this little white line. Here it comes. So you can almost tell in his face, it's like he's got that continuous rising feeling. He knows that in his body. He's like, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. He's anticipating what's coming. So what he's going to do is, you see, he kind of releases the pressure off of this front knee to actually then stomp back down, to like get that momentum to push back down on the board. Watch this. And there's that downward momentum. There's little pump number one. So if we just whiz back through this slowly, you're going to see him do this pump. Here we go. That's it backwards. Now you can see it. Okay? Right? So remember, so this is how the board's rising. He does this little leg release. And now he's pushing down, putting all his weight forward on the front of the board to get this foil down. And watch, he's going to do it again. He's going to do a very little mini release, and he's going to really force that weight down. There we go, on that front foot. And that's why you always hear foilers saying, you've got to get that weight forward, you've got to keep pushing down on the front. And you'll see him a third time, and then down it goes. And watch how quickly, see the trajectory of the board, watch how quickly and nicely that board, he regains control of that board at a nice cruising height. Like, just absolute superb control there by Ralph. So that's a perfect example of how to avoid the breach when you get that feeling of continuous rise, that ultimate floating feeling. Just remember to force that front foot down with that like little pumping action. All right, so we just watch that one at full speed, and then you can actually see the actual pumps he does in his front foot. There we go, board is rising. He knows he's going out of control, so he starts to put the pressure down on the front foot. There it is once, there it is twice, and then here we go, number 3, and he regains control of the board, and he's avoided the breach. Really good work. Awesome stuff. Ralph's only 14 years old. That was his 3rd session out tow foiling. I always say, and I always have said and will continue to say, the best way to learn foiling is definitely behind a boat or a jet ski, just to get used to the feeling and how to tweak and understand the idiosyncrasies of the foil. This is a perfect example of that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Check us out for some more. We are making lots more, so we will get them up onto our YouTube channel as quickly as possible. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you're ever in Japan, check out splashguesthouse.com. Come and do some foiling with us in wonderful Katsuura, Chiba. See you next time. Cheerio!